horizontal alignment or aligning block elements. A block element takes up the full width available and has a line break both before and after. Examples would include your paragraph, division, heading, and many other tags. Block elements are centered by specifying automatic left and right margins. When we do this, the left and right margins are split evenly, centering your object. Another method you can use is absolute positioning. Absolute positioning allows you to specify a precise position relative to your left or right margin. Absolute positioned elements can overlap others. Let's start by looking at absolute positioning. We're looking at my style sheet, and here I've defined a class called right. Now this is for absolute positioning relative to the right-hand margin. And so the first parameter I've specified is that the position is absolute. The next one is right, and I've specified 50 pixels. This means that the right-hand edge of my element will be 50 pixels from the right-hand margin of my browser window. I've also specified a width for my element of 900 pixels and given it a background color to set it off. The next item here is my left class for left absolute positioning. Again, the position is set to absolute, but instead of right, I'm using the left parameter, and I'm setting it off 50 pixels from the left margin. My width and color are the same. In this section, I define my class for centering elements. Notice that my left and right margins are set to auto, and I have a width of 70%. Your width, of course, must be less than 100% in order to have any desire to center within the window. If you take a look under my paragraph stylings, I've added padding left and right to cm. This is to give me just a little white space. Here's my web page, and you'll notice that I have set up the entire contents of my page as a division of the class center. And here's our end result. Now, this is a poem my wife brought to me just as I was thinking about what content to use for this podcast. And seeing that today is December 7th, I couldn't find or think of anything more appropriate than the poem, The Soldier's Night Before Christmas. And it goes, "'Twas the night before Christmas, he lived all alone, in a one-bedroom house made of plaster and stone. I had come down the chimney with presents to give, and to see just who in this home did live. I looked all about, a strange sight I did see, no tinsel, no presents, not even a tree, no stocking by the fire, just boots filled with sand, and on the wall hung pictures of far distant lands. With medals and badges, awards of all kind, a sober thought came through my mind, for this house was different, so dark and dreary. I knew I had found the home of a soldier, once I could see clearly. I heard stories about them, I had to see more, so I walked down the hall and pushed open the door. And there he lay sleeping, silent, alone, curled up on the floor in his one-bedroom home. His face so gentle, his room in such disorder. Not how I pictured a United States soldier. Was this the hero of whom I'd just read, curled up in his poncho, a floor for his bed? His head was clean-shaven, his weathered face tan. I soon understood this was more than a man, for I realized the families that I saw that night owed their lives to these men who were willing to fight. Soon round the world the children would play, and grown-ups would celebrate on a bright Christmas day. They all enjoyed freedom each month of the year because of soldiers like this one lying here. I couldn't help wonder how many lay alone on a cold Christmas Eve in a land far from home. Just the very thought brought a tear to my eye. I dropped to my knees and started to cry. The soldier awakened and I heard a rough voice. "Santa, don't cry. This life is my choice. I fight for freedom. I don't ask for more. My life is my God, my country, my core." With that he rolled over and drifted off into sleep. I couldn't control it. I continued to weep. I watched him for hours, so silent and still. I noticed he shivered from the cold night's chill. So I took off my jacket, the one made of red, and I covered this soldier from his toes to his head, and I put on his t-shirt of gray and black with an eagle and an army patch embroidered on back. And although it barely fit me, I began to swell with pride. And for a shining moment, I was United States Army deep inside. I didn't want to leave him on that cold, dark night, this guardian of honor, so willing to fight. Then the soldier rolled over, whispered with a voice so clean and pure, "Carry on, Santa, it's Christmas Day, all is secure." One look at my watch, and I knew he was right. Merry Christmas, my friend, and to all a good night. What have we learned? For me, the most important thing is that horizontal alignment or block alignment is a viable alternative to laying out a simple but elegant web page